Well, let's consider all this further. With me in the studio is Assad Sawey from the BBC Arabic service. And let's react to what has been leaked on Reuters and what we understand Reuters are reporting. Does this seem a plausible way forward?
It does seem like a lot of what the opposition has been calling for month. President Morsi has been accused of turning a completely deaf ear to the opposition demands. Now we're seeing nearly a list of all the opposition demands. What it doesn't say in the Reuters leaks is where the president will be. It says that the army will suspend the constitution and dissolve the Islamist-led upper house of parliament. However, it doesn't say where the president will be. Will he step down immediately, or will he wait for an interim period until fresh elections are held?
Answer me this, because the army said, we don't want power, we're honest brokers in this, we're just here to resolve a political difference. What you've just said to me is the army have, if the Reuters report is accurate, is the army have come up with exactly what the opposition has been demanding.
Well, if the Reuters report is accurate and complete, then we would say that the army is actually leaning more toward the position of the opposition to President Morsi. And from last Sunday's protests, it doesn't seem to be only the opposition demanding this. It seems like, at least that's the army's statement of the number of protesters, 14 million Egyptians are asking for the same thing, plus the immediate stepping down of President Morsi.
And if you're President Morsi and you're considering this wave of protests, the role of the army, what are the options available to him?
Well, very little, really. It doesn't look like he has many options. If I were the president, and I would say that I would have to manage my situation with the opposition so that I don't have to face the army and the people. If he gets the opposition on his side, the opposition will be able to convince the masses on the street that there is a way forward.
Do you believe that he would come up with and say, OK, let's have a technocratic government, let's not have, it's not political Islam, it's not a liberal, it's not going back to Mubarak, we're just going to be the people who can run the country, the best engineers, the best scientists, the best economists, and that's the way that we will govern Egypt?
Well, I would love to think so, but given the past year and the performance of the presidency over the past year, it doesn't seem like he could be doing this. This would require a major turnaround in his thinking.
I mean, it is worth stating again that these were free and fair elections that brought him to power, and yet it looks like he's going to be brought down. Is he partly guilty of what we said in the introduction there, of kind of promising the undeliverable in saying, I can transform Egypt in 100 days?
That's what many on Egyptian streets are saying today. They are saying that he hasn't delivered in a year, although he promised 100 days. We were talking today to different people from the Egyptian society. For example, business people see the economy as going very quickly down a steep hill. Many people don't find cash. There is regular power outages, there is regular fuel shortages. It's like the country is coming to a standstill, and that's not the Egyptian economy. In its worst conditions, years and years ago, it wasn't like this.
Just very briefly, where does this leave political Islam?
In a very difficult position. However, they do have a chance if they say that we respect the will of the people and we are willing to recognize that there is legitimate opposition demands and that the people who went to the street really had legitimate grievances. Then they have a chance of winning maybe some years down the road. But at the moment, if they choose confrontation, it's going to be very difficult to think they could be back in power in the coming 50 years at least.
OK, Assad, thank you very much indeed for your insights and analysis there.